What's going on? Here's another video of why math is so hard to understand as to what actually is mathematics. So picture this. Um, the holographic version of the universe is sort of like imagining your room is sitting on top of like an LCD screen or something. And you can imagine typing out code or a mathematical formula, and you can sort of picture yourself, walking around your house all day. For me, I make my hot pocket or some like mung beans, rice, that kind of stuff. And yeah, and you play it back, and you kind of feel out your day, and you think, wow, this was really special. You know, you know, I prayed 5 times a day or whatever it is, and I had time with my family. And then you go back and you watch the tape, and all of the different ways you can imagine what happened that day is living in this sort of mathematical formula. It's just this single thing. But here's the hard part. Here's the hard part is it actually gets more complicated than that, because the cosmos is always evolving. It's always changing. In some sense, you might say that we're always, even in our 3 and 4 dimensional view of the world, where I can picture a day, we're just viewing a snapshot of something. And so where does math actually sit or live on this? Well, philosophers, some say that math might be this idealized construct. The reason this is still difficult, where math is something that it's like a soul, it's something that is outside of physical reality. And we imagine that these formulas that are fueling our reality is just the way things are, but there's not actually a thing you can see and touch, and yet it is something. Um, and and this is sort of weird, because when we go back and we say, well, all I actually know or see is this physical reality. Well, that's tough, because even when you have the projection mapped out, using something like string theory or the standard model, you still kind of struggle to put this math somewhere. But the extra layer. This is where, for some, Looney Tune land comes in. For some, it's sense making. Some people say that your whole sort of vision of 4D reality is all a figment or a construct of the mind. And this sort of changes things. If I don't have to say that myself living in some form of reality is real, and there's not a projection of me in my room or anything like this, any of this BS, then it seems to be more believable that option two is right. Math is just these idealized constructs, and reality as we observe it is just emergent from some idealized version of reality.